was just, welcome back, chat. Just finishing up the tight sketch for a painting I'm going to be working on today. It's using, I forget what it's called, this thing called Neo Lucida Plus. Basically it takes like an image, and then you can sort of trace it out of the air. So that's what I was up to. So I had a reference image pulled up, and I transferred it to my painting. So today, hey Jello Sketch, welcome. Today what we're gonna do, or you might have read a little bit by the title, is I have primed my canvas in a fluorescent yellow. So sort of Liquitex, just very basic fluorescent yellow. It doesn't really show up fluorescent on the screen, on the camera, which is annoying. Let's see if I can show it. I have a fluorescent flashlight. So this is my hand. It's hard to kind of see on camera. You can kind of see that it's fluorescing the paper. I don't know if my hand is. You can kind of see it's a little fluorescent. The flashlight is a little bright. Yeah, it's fluorescent background. I wanted to try a new technique I've been seeing online, where you basically prime your canvas in a fluorescent, either like an orange or pink, whatever. I need to adjust that. Good. Yeah, and then you paint over it either in acrylic or something else. I'm first gonna put this thing away. I just needed it because I wanted to transfer this image onto my paper without having to like print something out, and then yeah, without having to print something out or use transfer paper. And I hadn't gotten a chance to use this thing before. My family got it for me for Christmas, so I thought, oh, maybe I'll try it out. It basically has some prisms where it'll reflect. It's sort of like an illusion. It'll reflect whatever in front of it onto the page below it. Sure to put it back. I wanted to get it done before starting stream, but it just took a little longer to set up than I had anticipated, just because I haven't used it really before, so there's a little bit of a learning curve. Bear with me, chat. Just want to make sure I put it away properly, so it's all nice and safe. Alright, so it doesn't get scuffed. There we are. Good. I mean, I can show you a little bit like the little instruction manuals it came with. Basically, there's like a little object or whatever in front of you, and it will use sort of lenses to reflect it onto the paper. I will probably do a stream at some point if you guys want, maybe to demonstrate it better. I can do that if you guys would like. Adjust the cameras. Bear with me. Let me. Hello. Christian says hi. But today what I'm basically doing is I primed it with acrylic. This is dry. I've drawn on it with like just a random red pencil, and now we're going to paint on it, hopefully with, we're going to be using oil paint, because I said to myself, one of my sort of New Year's resolutions was to do more oil painting this year and paint bigger. This is obviously not bigger. They do not like, come on. This isn't a bigger piece, but it is going to be an oil painting piece. Now my face is all dark. I can't have both, can I? Maybe if I turn the light a little There we go. That's good. I mean, my face is still in shadow, but it's fine. It's not my face that's the main thing. It's the art that's important. But I also work indoors, and my ventilation is kind of not so good. I'm sure I could crack a window open, but then the moths would come in, and someone does not like moths or insects or little friends coming in. So what I'm going to be using today with my normal oil paint is this thing called Medium W. If it will focus at all. Hello? Focus. Oh, whatever. It's Medium W by Schminke. It's basically just magic and sorcery of the darkest kind. Let me get my schmuck on so I don't make a terrible mess. I was a fool and can't find gloves, so we're going to have a limited palette today because I don't want to work with my cadmium paints while I don't have gloves. And I know I have gloves, I just don't know where they are. So let's see. And I might, while things are drying, work on several little pieces. Regular oil paints and water soluble. Okay, so I do have water soluble oil paints. They're kind of crap. They're kind of not good, if you excuse my French. And I have normal oil paints. And what Medium W does, you add this to your normal oil paints. I need to adjust this. You add the Medium W to your normal oil paints, and it becomes water soluble, so you don't have to use sort of the toxic solvents. So I have my container of water up here. I did prime an extra canvas. I'm probably not going to paint on it today. Just wanted to, while I was priming canvas, just have one out. Yeah, so I'll be using a little gray paper palette just because there's not much space for the bigger one. I wanted to paint some little hyacinths today. Freak, my charger's in the other room. I'll have to go and get it. No, it's okay. Water soluble oils are typically crap, sadly, but the medium sounds great. Yeah, so I've heard that too. I've heard people who bought like Winsor Newton water soluble oil paints like, it's terrible, how dare you, how dare this art supply store carry it, it's such horrible like quality. I just like being able to do both normal oil paint or water soluble, but only buy one paint, so that's what Medium W is for. That way I don't have to deal with solvents. I do use Gamsol as a solvent though, so there shouldn't be too much issue with like it being toxic, but just in case, to err on the side of caution, I usually will, I'm sorry, I blanked out. Yeah, usually I either paint outside with the mediums, like Gamsol as a thinner, or I use the water soluble indoors. I haven't really figured out a way or put much thought into a way to stream larger oil paints. I'll do that at some point, but I wanted a setup that would work for my little desk setup. You know, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. I'll be right back. I need to grab my charger, so hang on just a sec. Alright, we're back. There we are. Okay, just my phone is a little low on juice. I need it for the reference image. My phone folder's being annoying today. It's not staying like it's supposed to be. Give me a second, chat. Alright, that should be maybe good. Good enough. Yeah. Oh, just get all set up really. And also I wanted to challenge myself with this piece specifically, only having the fluorescent background and one color, which is this, what is it? This sort of Winsor Newton dioxazine purple. No, you can't see the purple. It's a very dark purple. Just because it's, I work at an art store, some of you know, and this guy had an itty bitty hole in it, so they were like, oh, we should just throw it out, you know, no one's gonna want to buy it. And I'm like, it's still good. It's still good. I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Frick, let me, just give it to me. I'll buy it. Since no one else, everyone else is like, it has to be brand new. I don't want oil painted the hole in it. That's why it's all like kind of taped up. It's like an itty bitty hole here. So I've taped the hole shut. Because that's really all you need to do. I find it so silly when people are like, oh, it's broken, I don't want it anymore. It's cringe. Like, come on. People are so... It doesn't have to be brand new, you know, or like perfect condition. If you can use it, you know. Don't throw it away. It always makes me so sad when they're like, ah, can't sell it, gotta trash it. That's so wasteful and silly. Alright, let me read the instructions again, because it's been a hot minute since I've used this. I was gonna say I don't need the safety information. Good thing I speak German, because instructions that I could find are in German. Okay, it didn't tell me. Okay, it does not tell me how much to mix. I'm just probably reading it incorrectly. To be mixed. Yeah, I don't see any, I think it's half and half. I don't know. We'll wing it. As we always do. Maybe have. Also, because I don't have gloves, I am only painting with the oil paints I have that have AP on it. If you're ever at an art store like, is this toxic? Is this not toxic? Is this safe? Or like, can a kid use it, basically, is a good way of judging like the safety. If it has an AP on it, it means that if it's used properly, that it is safe to use, and I think even kids can use it, don't quote me on that, but I thought that's what it was. But if it's a CL, that it's toxic, and that even if you are using it safely with like gloves and such, that you need to be extremely careful, and it's not recommended to use for kids or anything. So since I can't find my gloves, and you need gloves, especially when working with anything with CL on it, I'm not going to have any work with anything with CL, or even if it says AP on it, anything that says cadmium, I'm not using, because cadmium is toxic like lead. Like this one, cadmium yellow, pale hue. Oh, jeez, it's so annoying. Focus, please, little bit. Little bit, maybe? Anyways, trust me that says cadmium yellow, pale hue. It has an AP on it, but it's got cadmium in it, so I'm not risking it. Like, it's not the end of the world if you get a little cadmium on you, but I don't want to risk it, so we're not. So, I mean, I should probably look up if dioxazine is toxic, but it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. He's freak already got some on me. Lovely. Lovely. It's fine. It's fine. And just image of that. Maybe I added too much. I thought that it said the hue was an alternative to the actual pigment. Hue, oh wait, did it say hue? Oh, it did, actually. Let me check the pigments. That's a good thing, because note to self, to chat, if a paint ever says hue, that means it's not the actual pigment, it's a mix of pigments to look like the original pigment. So hue means it has more than one. It has permanent A, pigment PY74. So it might not have cadmium in it. You're right. I don't want to risk it anyways, but you're right. You're right, it probably shouldn't have cadmium in it. But I don't like the fact that it even has cadmium in the title, so I'm not going to use it. Yeah. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm not going to get it all over. That's why I wear a long sleeve shirt that's already covered in paint. I mean, I'm going to be working on this plant one, and maybe while that dries, I have these two paintings that I kind of was working on at some point, and I think I can improve now. So I can switch between all three. Ooh, these. Mix the paint with the yummy. It's so liquidy, delicious. Also, I was taught by actually the lovely Jello sketch here that you always mix your paints, the oil paints especially, with a palette knife and not your brushes. I think I put way too much medium W in it. It's fine though, it's fine. It's too liquidy, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. And I might do a little bit of white. For a second, I read this white as flake white hue, and I'm like, but it's hue, not actual flake white. For those of you who don't know, flake white, the pure, real, genuine flake white is lead-based. So you have to be careful with that. That said hue, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it's fine. Peppercorn, thank you. I also still recommend the peppercorn mixing technique I learned from an oil painting. Remind me what the peppercorn technique was again, because I completely forgot. Putting a lot less in the white just to sort of try. It was like a little bit, right? You have to remind me. I haven't oil painted in a while, and I've never been properly like at a class for it. I signed up once for a class, but then COVID hit, so we never ended up having the class. So like, oil paint's too dangerous to learn virtually, because not everyone has the proper setup for it. So we'll make it an acrylic class instead. And I'm like, no, I already know acrylic. So yeah. It's all YouTube tutorials and friends who can already oil paint. For that I know. The little bit of oil painting I know. I'm kind of sad in school. I was like, oh, I'll learn later. But then when later came, I couldn't learn it. Yeah, it makes it, I probably put way too much in. It makes it very fluidy. When the tip of the knife, tap it, with the tip of the knife, tap it on the end and mix it little by little. Oh, yeah, I kind of didn't do that. Yeah, but it's a good idea. Maybe I try it a little bit. Yeah, I probably am butchering that technique. I'm just very unwieldy. You can tell I don't have as much practice as I'd like with this. Yeah. We'll see. Should probably get a stick, but it's fine. I don't need a stick. Not at all. I do. I should probably get a mall stick. Or just a stick and turn it into like an impromptu mall stick. Actually, it's very interesting. I'm painting the straight dioxazine, which is a very dark purple. And on the yellow, you can't tell too much because of the glare. It's kind of showing up almost brown. Like a brown black, which is very interesting. Eek. Eek. Don't know if I, like, that might not have been the intention. Oh well. Whoops. Whoops indeed. You know, yellow might not have been the best one. I thought this might... I was a fool thinking it wouldn't affect the painting. I think I'm thinking too much acrylics. But it is. So I guess we'll just roll with it, see what happens. Christian, is that music copyrighted?
Can you hear it?
Yeah, it's picking it up.
I'll be over there in about 1 minute. I just said something blue.
Yeah, at least it's, I think it's showing up on the mic a little bit.
Okay,
For some of the oil painting techniques, I'll try to find video reference on YouTube. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That sounds like a very good idea indeed. At this point, it's just going to be a casual, maybe sort of painting in the numbers sort of feeling. Yeah, I might call a friend later. And also to my friends, if you ever want to chat while I'm painting, just feel free to call. You know I do love chatting with you guys always. And it's good to just have somebody to talk to while I pass the time. I have the bad habit of just going completely quiet while painting because I'm so focused and honed in on what I'm doing. So that can be a little bit of a problem because it can be chill to just listen to a stream, like, or just have a streamer not do anything, just zone in with the task at hand. It can be kind of boring, especially if you're doing other things and you just want somebody in the background. Then I can imagine it would be quite boring. So I always try to have people to talk to, but not everyone is always available to talk. Yeah. So honestly, I probably should have tried this technique out with acrylic before I went to oil, but I also was like, well, I got this purple paint, so I should probably use it. You know, it was meant to be, and also it's part of my New Year's resolution. And what better way to paint than on stream? Because I always paint traditionally on stream, because my setup does not allow me to do it. I mean, I suppose I could do digital on the computer. It'll just be kind of tricky because the screen I can't always see. It flickers a lot because my screen is kind of scuffed after the flood. So it often turns on and off, which is fun. Which is fun indeed. Yeah. I do wish that it wouldn't gloss as much. That's kind of annoying. Maybe I'll just have something under it to tilt it so it's not glossing as much. Some postcards. Is that a little bit better, I think? It's not glossing or glaring as much. Maybe? A little better? Hopefully. Hopefully. Hopefully indeed. Yeah. Honestly, at this rate, I'm just blocking in the darks. Kind of glad I did the what do you call it? The underdrawing. That's super helpful. I would be completely winging it if I hadn't, and lost. I don't like it. We'll see, we'll see. Should probably start on this side and work my way that side so I don't smudge as much as I am probably gonna want to do. Let's see. Let's see. I'm debating whether I put in some blue or not to the palette, because it is kind of sort of more like a purple with these flowers. I also kind of don't want to. I did say I wanted to keep it sort of monotone, just the purple and the underpainting. So I guess we'll see how far we can go with just that. Sort of tricky trying to think or map out where everything is with the values, value-wise. I'm drawing what I'm. If you're wondering, chat, what I'm painting a hyacinth or a hyacinthus. I don't know. Um, what is your guys' favorite flower? I was talking with a cousin of mine, and they mentioned this one is their favorite. And I just like sometimes exploring and painting different flowers. It's always helpful when people have suggestions. So chat, let me know what your favorite flower is. I personally really like Mexican clovers. They're my favorite. I know a lot of people consider them a weed. I think they're invasive to South Florida, but I really like how they look. They are a little ground flower, and when they clump together, they're really itty bitty, like this big. And when they clump together, they look a lot like snow, which I think is really beautiful, especially for Florida where we don't have any snow. So I've always liked them quite a bit. They're like sort of whitish, like very, very white purple or violet. So light that they look pretty much white. And if you look really, really close to them in the sun, they actually even sparkle a little bit, which I think is really neat. Yeah. Carnations, all color variations. Oh, those are gorgeous. I love the stripe, the like sort of stripy ones especially. Those are pretty cool. What am I painting? I remember in school we'd always give them out, or you could buy them for people for Valentine's Day, and that was always a cute little thing to do. It was always fun being like, oh, did anyone give me a carnation? And then a lot of kids are like, oh, some random person gave me a carnation. Ooh, I have a secret admirer. And then they try and spend the whole day trying to figure out who it was. That was always funny. And it was, I thought it always went to some charity, the funds. If you bought carnations for people. It was like a fundraiser of some variety. But I don't remember for what exactly. So, yeah, it was kind of cute. Except for the kids who never got any flowers. That was always very sad. I much liked it in elementary school, where sort of everyone had to get, you just got everyone in the class chocolates. We'd make special Valentine's Day boxes that you could just put your candy and little cards in, and everyone had to get everyone a cards and candy, so no one was left out, and I thought that was always fun. So it's kind of like trick or treat, where everyone gets candy, but for Valentine's Day. As a sort of cute little thing to do. Okay, I might have girl bossed a little too hard to the sun, considering this is a pretty complex piece. And I just was like, yeah, I'll totally be able to do this for a relatively short stream. Yeah, don't worry about it. So, I mean, it is a small canvas, so there's that. Ah, yes, second red and pink Halloween. Exactly, exactly. That was so cute for Valentine's Day. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just reading everything. They sparkle and look lovely in the morning. Absolutely, they do indeed. They do indeed. If I move, I'll probably keep some. I wonder if they can be kept as indoor plants. And if I can keep them alive as indoor plants. I'm pretty good at having things start growing, but remembering to keep them growing is always a little tricky with me. Especially on my balcony. There's no tap or water or a hose, which is kind of annoying. And I understand why. It's like a freaking apartment building. But it's annoying to have to schlep water from the bathroom in a watering can every day. So I often forget. And so only the most hardy of my little desert plants survive. Everything else just dies. It all dies. Let me see, I thought there was... It really is just paint by numbers, but no numbers. Which is fun. Yeah. It's coming along a little bit. It's going gradually, very gradually. This should have a little bit more of a darker color. And these lighter. I think that goes a darker. Let's see. It's annoying when people like keep. It's not annoying, but it's troublesome when you have your reference photo on your phone and then people keep messaging you and it keeps obscuring your phone. It's like, I'm trying to paint here. Please, why am I? Stop. Message me literally any other time. Why now? Why this very instant? It's actually coming along pretty alright. just by having just one layer and just one, like 2 colors more or less. I've gotten too happy with that paint smudge. Let's see. It's going. Alright. Sorry, chat, I'm a bit quiet. I'm just really focused on making sure it looks alright and putting things exactly where they need to be. Just because I like where it's going and I don't want to rush it or get too distracted. It's hard thinking about where things go and also chatting. Can only really do one thing at a time, unfortunately. Not the best multitasker in the world. Not by a long shot. Let's see. going, it's going. Let me see. Let's see. So kind of want the yellow to be coming through as a highlight, but I might not be able to achieve that. Depends. It depends. It all depends. We'll see. Um, E. Let's see. I haven't done oil in quite a while, not since like last year, so I'm a little like, gotta focus, I don't know what I'm doing. Ooh. I wanna make sure it turns out alright. Also just, head's empty. There is only oil painting. Nothing else exists. Which is not conducive to a good stream, but I'm doing my best. We're doing our best. That's what matters, right? We shall see. I do like this brush that I'm using. I was worried maybe it was too small, but I think it's actually just the right amount, the right size. It's a Raphael brush. They're one of my favorite brushes, actually, not just because it's my name. They do both the watercolor and oil painting brushes. Well, the oil painting brushes are the same as the acrylic, more or less. The tip is basically, if it's short brush, then it's for watercolor. If it's a long one like this, then it is for oil painting. Yeah, so now you know. Now you know. For those of you who didn't know that. I'm sure I have some other oil painting brushes, but I trust these ones the best. I know they're not gonna have hair falling out, which is always a big concern for me. Actually, I started priming these and I didn't clean the brushes. They were in a dusty old box, and so they were all dusty and some dust got on the canvas, and it's just stuck in the acrylic now, which is fun. Love that. I said with so much sarcasm. But so then I was like, okay, we're gonna pause priming these canvases and just give all of our brushes and the box a nice little bath, so that it doesn't look all, they're not all grimy and dusty. They got a much needed bath. I didn't think that the box would make them so dusty, but it did. So, and especially with oil painting, you have to be very careful about dust, because it will just stick to the oil. I think too some of the brushes had been previously used for oil painting, so a little bit of the oil is still on them. So the dust really stuck to them, which was not good, not desired, not wanted. So that wasn't good. Not at all. It's slowly coming together. I keep saying the same things. I'm sorry. There's no brain. There's only all the brain cells are very much focused on painting and filling in the numbers, and not so much on conversation. I do again apologize for that. I will try. I'll try. I just don't have any topics. Ugh. It's no good. No good at all. Yeah, I think I mixed way too much paint for this. Whoops. Again, it's been a while since I've painted, so I'm remembering all the proportions is a little hard. A little hard to do. Definitely for oil painting, even with mediums, less is more. Yeah, you're telling me. I know that to be true, especially for acrylic. I just didn't think when I was like, okay, painting. Bloop. And then there's just a lot on my palette, and I'm like, oh. I was too worried about mixing the proper ratio for the medium W that I wasn't really paying attention to how much paint I should put on to begin with. So that was not good. Not good at all. For bigger pieces around, for a bigger piece around an inch or so, usually a capful from the tube and add as you need for a bigger piece around an inch of paint or so. Okay. Yeah, I just kind of, I'm a little squeeze happy with the tube, so, yeah. Next time, I will try and remember that. Again, it's been a hot minute. I'm very rusty. Not to say I was ever a pro to begin with. Yeah, and then I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long trying to figure things out, so I just kind of jumped right into the stream. Yeah. Better to start now than to wait till you have everything right or you'll never do it. Agreed, agreed. That's quite true. Ooh, I need more white. That is very true indeed. guys been watching any neat shows lately? I'm just watching a bunch of anime, for the most part, as per usual. Nothing too much new on that front. I know a lot of people have been watching the new Avatar. I have yet to watch it. To be fair, there's a lot of things that are like new that I haven't watched. Like, I never watched that live action One Piece. I had some friends saying I ought to. Like, especially if I want to, like, just dip my toes into One Piece, but not actually, like, commit to the anime or the manga, which is really a journey. So, let's see. Wow, I like how it's coming out. It's doing well. This piece is... Okay, we're cooking. A little bit. The live action One Piece was interesting in interpretation and well made. Interesting. I'll have to check it out at some point. It's on the list. The very long list that I have of things that I need to watch. I tried giving it the new Avatar: The Last Airbender a shot and didn't really like it, and rewatched Has Been Hotel. I need to watch Has Been Hotel. It's on Prime. I can't be bothered to pay for it at the moment. I know Christian has Prime, but he doesn't really like demonic things. I haven't really watched it. I should. I know I should. It looks, I've seen clips, it looks really good. Yeah, I just can't be bothered to pay for it at the moment. The Husband Hotel pilot is free. I saw the pilot. The pilot was great. And I do watch Hell of a Boss on YouTube. Absolutely. Just the series on Prime. I think it's on Prime. I forget. I just can't be bothered. Like, maybe when I have Prime, again, I always go through cycles of occasionally having it when I need it, and then dropping it because it's kind of too much. And I'm just getting really fatigued with like, oh, you have to pay for this subscription channel, and it's like, do I really? Because I know I don't really actually have to, so. True, yeah. was a little worried. Earlier it was like, oh no, it's turning up brown, but it's actually showing up pretty nicely against the yellow, I think. E. Just got my new scanner, so hopefully I can start uploading my art soon. Ooh, that's good. I've been just relying on taking photos with my phone and just editing it in like the photo editing section of the app and calling it good enough because I don't really have access to like the school scanners anymore that I used to. I'm sure we have a scanner somewhere in this house. I just A, need to find it, and B, need to learn how to use it properly. So that's always going to be fun. Yellow and purple are always a secondary combo. Yeah. Yeah, I was debating like, what color should I use? I have purple. What should I use beyond that? And it's like, orange is a little too Halloweeny for my taste. And I thought, maybe nice fluorescent yellow would be good. So that's what we're gonna do. So that's what we did. I can never get my drawings flat, and I get a flatbed scanner to help. Flatbed scanners are lovely to get things right, like just so. Absolutely. I miss having the school's flatbed that I knew how to use. I think Christian has one. Again, need to find it and learn how to use it. But yeah, those are always excellent. Takes all the struggle and hassle out of getting good photos out. Takes the struggle out of it, which is good. It is, the yellow is, it's interesting. The yellow's showing up way more cool than it actually is. I mean, I guess a fluorescent yellow is kind of a cool yellow, like sort of green, but it's like almost showing up like a Naples yellow, which is really bizarre. It's a lot more fluorescent than that. But hey, that's fine. I think it should be fine. Some places I put too much oil paint, so I'm just scratching away these layers to try and reveal the sort of yellow underneath to get back to that light layer that I want, so that it's for sure like a highlighted layer, or that the highlights are gonna be the yellow. If that makes any sense. have a question for you guys for chat. If you, random question, if you could choose which anime, like you got isekai tomorrow, you could choose which one to get isekai into, which one would it be? And you're just you, no special powers or anything, just a random, you're just a normal person. Which world would you choose to go into? You could choose. Controversial choice, Beastar, and yes, it's because I'm interested in learning about the furries. That's interesting, that's interesting. I'd probably choose, I think it's Log Horizon, just because it's like, I won't die. You could just chill and make weapons or cook or just have a normal life and not insta-die like some anime. You know, I have some friends who are like, yeah, I'm definitely going into like Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm like, do you have a death wish? My guy. Think for 2 seconds about what you're saying. That's not gonna work out for you. Like, dang, main character syndrome over here. Yeah, I know, right? JJK, you just die. That's like guaranteed death. If I got isekai and I had to participate in the plot, probably maybe Witch Hat Altair or Atelier. I don't fucking know how to words. I know it's technically not an anime, but it will be. It's going to be at some point, so don't at me. Where's my other tiny brush? Just because magic and drawing, I can do those. Those I can do. So excited for Witch Hat Atelier. I am excited for it, but also I'm a little nervous because like there's no way that they're going to be able to, as an anime, just like recreate the beauty that is the manga. Like it's just so like breathtaking, that manga. There's no replacing it or replicating it. I mean, unless you do like sort of Ghibli level, like a Ghibli level movie, maybe. But even then, there's no guarantee that you replicate it decently. Because like that art is just really important and just a big part of the manga, I'd argue. No, definitely not the one for one since it's a TV anime, but hopefully good for a weekly schedule, I suppose. I do hope yeah, I agree. I hope it does it justice. At least do it like halfway good, because it's really pretty. If you haven't read the manga, I highly recommend it. It's really good. Like really, really good. Which reminds me, wished they had a longer version of the girl on the other side. Yeah, that was they made that already in anime, didn't they? A girl on the other side, I mean. They did it. It was a nice short. Wish there was more and other adaptations of Nagabe's work. Yeah, I started reading the manga. I did not finish, which is a darn shame because it looked really pretty from what little I read. Gotta check out the anime. It seemed very lovely though, art-wise. If I ever get the physical copy, I recommend the hardcovers. Why is that? Any particular reason? like the quality of it more than the regular version, and they're designed really well. Feels like an old storybook. Ooh, those are always the best. I'll take that under advisement. only event this year you're excited for? Probably Otaku Fest. I'm gonna see if I can vend at that event. I haven't heard from them despite having applied months ago. But then they are having a new venue, so I do imagine it's going to be a little bit hectic. Probably have a lot to figure out. I mean, even their contract was like still for the old venue. They didn't update it at all. So that was fun. And probably not at all a red flag or worrying in the slightest. But yeah, besides that, I am, mostly that. I'm trying in October to do a road trip up north, visit some friends in the Chicago, Wisconsin area. We'll see if that actually happens. I need to either find my sleeping bag and tent or get a new one. So that'll be fun. Yeah. Some of my friends haven't gone camping ever, so that'll be interesting to try and do, because there will be some camping involved. Beyond that, I'm not so certain, to be honest. Top of my head? Yeah, it's too dark. It's a good question. Oh, some concerts I'm going to. I think next weekend or so I'm going to the Ren Fair. I always live for the Ren Fair, so it'll be fun and exciting. Let me think. Yeah, Ren Fair. I'm going to a concert. I forget, March or so. Again with friends. I think it was Mother Mother, Destroy Boys, and Cave Town. I don't remember when that was though. Also, I don't know how, but they found me. Yeah, stuff like that, really. So I haven't done too many concerts in my life, so that'll be definitely interesting. And you, chat, is there anything you guys are interested in or excited for? I wonder. This needs to be more white. Just my trip to my friend in Norway, and so wanted to go to an anime convention since I can't do Otaku Fest. There's also SuperCon, which is going on, and you probably can do SuperCon if you want to do a convention. They're pretty good. Not as good as they used to be back when I was in high school, but still pretty good. It is probably because they got a new owner that they're just kind of mid now. They're alright, a bit too expensive personally to vend at. Not worth vending at, but definitely fun to go to as like an attendee, to be sure. I do intend to go, so if any of you want to meet me there, just let me know. I'm happy to meet up at these events. There goes my computer again. Yeah. Have you been? You've been to SuperCon, right? I keep forgetting. Have you been to that one before? I forget. Oh, okay, let's see if the early price is still good. Yeah, I'll be in What's a Supercon in high school? Yeah, I used to go quite a bit in high school. I kind of go every year, to be honest, so it's fun though. It's still fun. Um, Panels aren't as good as they used to be, but the vending's alright. Hopefully, I mean, it gets better every year, um, so hopefully it's even better this year. Yee. Artist Alley is always my go-to. It is for me as well. So I did like it, so hopefully they still have some fun stuff besides Artist Alley. It's always pretty good. Oh yeah, they've got like cosplay meetups, vending. Like the panels are alright. I feel like if you've been to like a certain number of panels, they just sort of repeat every year, more or less. Or they're just not maybe something I'm interested in. It depends. It really depends on who you are. Artist Alley, same. It is always my go-to. Every year. Ooh, it's too dark. So I save up most of my money and just spend it on Artist Alley, absolutely. And true, panels can hit or miss, but definitely excited for voice actors. Hopefully get to meet the voice of Genya from Demon Slayer. He did Hunter from Owl House. Ooh, I didn't know that. Awesome. And the voice actors for Denji and Chainsaw Man, again, he was so sweet. I lost my debit card and he still let me get his signature. Aw, that is really sweet. Yeah, I like, people can be such sweethearts at cons. Yeah, never really been too interested in voice actors. That's just a personal thing. But I keep forgetting that, like, you can meet famous people at cons. I'm like, oh, right. Because that's not really why I ever go to those things. I'm like, oh, right. Yeah. No, that's totally a thing. I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. it depends too on the voice actors. Sometimes, there's sometimes they have a lot of good voice actors there. I know they always SuperCon and MegaCon always have really popular voice actors, so you're good for that at least. If that's your thing, then it's a good con to go to. They did have the cast of the live-action One Piece at MegaCon. Wish I went. Yeah, it was packed. I mean, some people just spent all day in line at MegaCon. Like, Tom Hiddleston was also there. Was the other big voice actor that I know off the top of my head. Again, not something I'm terribly interested in. But yeah, a lot of people were, like, really hyped about the voice actors. The only unfortunate thing about MegaCon was that, like, some people were kind of rude. They're like, oh my god, this guy is supposed to be here. Why isn't he here? I was like, okay, calm down. Jeez, their flight was late. Or, in one case, very tragically, the voice actor died, and that's why he did not show up to the convention. And they're like, oh, oops. Like, bruh, calm down. Some of these people can be a tad bit entitled. It's like, I'm paying good money to see this person. Like, that's a person. This ain't a zoo. You know, calm down. So, I don't know. Not my shtick, not my scene, to be honest. Like, I'd rather, like, see a lot of cool stuff. I just don't like lines, personally, so I could never wait in line for that sort of thing. But MegaCon was pretty cool. Very packed. Good grief. A lot of people. Yeah, people can be in trouble, and also just like when they bring stuff to sign so they can sell it right out. Like, yeah, right? Just, bruh. That's just kinda icky, kinda iffy. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, people gonna people. What can you do? Honestly, this section, I don't really know what I'm doing. It's just, random shapes, you know, that looks good enough. I'm sure that's fine. It's good enough. Right? almost done, to be honest. Funny thing, I'm just done with this piece. decided to learn any new hobbies or skills? Yeah, always, but I'm having trouble thinking of any new hobbies and skills. I mean, anything art related is, I guess, more of a job than a hobby. I am working a little bit on embroidery and sewing and such. I really did put way too much paint. Ugh. I need a stay wet palette or like a Tupperware box or something. Oops. Eek. Depends what kind. You gotta be more specific. Cause like there's a lot of stuff that I learned. I do need to like practice knitting more. That's something I haven't done too much of, since technically kinda maybe learning it a little bit. I don't know, I can't really think too much of anything. Yeah, just drawing at this point. Yourself? What about you? Still need to practice sewing and embroidery, but definitely want to find an alternative to Duolingo. I'll learn some languages. I heard Rosetta Stone is good. Yeah, Rosetta Stone I hear is also good. Duolingo sucks. Don't bother with Duolingo. Also, they just fired like all their real people translators for AI. Like, we don't need real people. We'll just have AI run everything, which is like, that's like asking Google Translate to run something. Like, it's not bad. Google Translate is like okay, but it's not good enough to like run an entire learning language app. We learn language from people, not robots. So yeah, they kind of, and you know, there's no such thing at the moment as you know, ethical AI. Everything's stolen, either from fan fiction websites or artists. Mango is also a good one. Mango is good if you want to learn a language. I used to do a little bit of Dutch on Mango, and then I stopped because I got distracted. But yeah, they're really good. I think they're actually free, or at least a lot of library websites will have a language learning app for free on the website. So be sure to check out your local library's website, because they also often have a lot of hidden goodies with that regard, with regards to like learning languages or programs or just skills in general. Support your local library, guys. Yeah, that's the worst. I got used to it for generating, I get using it for generating for the app, but getting rid of the translator is a bad move. Let me see if the public has some good opinions. Yeah, for sure. Rosetta Stone, Mango's good. I'd have to look it up. I know there's some other good ones. Just don't remember them off the top of my head. Well, I think this is done. Maybe. The leaf is making me annoying, this leaf here. And I think we'll call it done. Yes. This is kind of what it looks like. Not bad, I think, for not having done oil in a long time. What do you guys think? I don't like these leaves, but I don't know how to make them better. They're annoying. Maybe some more highlights. Okay, if I work on it anymore, it's gonna get overworked, so. Yeah, I think we'll call it there, to be honest. Yeah. That's weird, the timing. That timer is weird. It says I've only been streaming for 13 minutes, but that can't be right. Oh well. It's fine. Thank you guys for stopping by the stream. I know it was a bit of a quiet stream, bit of a chill stream. Thank you guys anyways. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good week. Have a good rest of your week. Bye.